I'm Jen.
And I'm Jane.
And we're SpielMill.
And this is our Shelf of Shameful Opportunity. And this time we're covering specifically the Advent calendar games that we played this holiday season.
Yes, and we played a lot of them.
We played a lot of them. Now it's the end of the holiday season, so it may not be the ideal time to cover them, but we just played them, so it's fresh in our minds. And we thought we'd tell you about it, and then you can plan for next year.
Yes.
And you may be able to get some of them on sale now for next year.
That's not a bad idea.
So, because it doesn't matter, like a lot of them, like the exit calendars, it doesn't matter what year you do them. They're still valid from year to year. They don't work. They work in a way that's valid from year to year.
Right. Basically. Absolutely. All right. So we actually started in November.
Yes.
And we started with the Clue Advent calendar, which was a new one to us.
Yes. So this was interesting because, I think we went in with lower expectations because it was Clue. So it's, it's whatever publishing company, the Harper or whatever. Who does the Clue? Milton Bradley or whatever.
All I could think of was Marlboro.
Marlboro. Yeah, all the characters smoke.
They die, but it's not murder.
It was the cigarettes in the lungs in the lounge. Anyway, so we played this game. Now, this game was kind of interesting because it was like the Exit Advent Calendar game in that there was a puzzle every day, if you want to call it that. And then at the end, you had to solve the murder.
Yes.
So it had that little twist, which I like the little twist.
I did too. I thought that was really fun. And it was nice in 3D. So it the box opened up and there was a deep end and a shallow end. So sometimes in the deep end you would get a figurine or something more than just the cards that were on the flat end, which was really fun.
So there were some really nice elements to it. I think the drawbacks to this puzzle, it wasn't as good as some of the others.
It wasn't.
The puzzles that you would do daily, some of them were just like fold this, cut this, voila.
It basically told you exactly how to solve the puzzle. It was not that like the more complicated ones where you have to figure out what exactly is the trick here.
Right. It's
a good intro, and actually I think it would be great for a family or a group that doesn't really do a lot of puzzle games, maybe aren't big gamers, are sort of casual gamers.
Good with kids.
Good with kids. Yeah, I think this would be really nice for those folks.
But if you're looking for puzzles, some of them just weren't puzzles. And, a lot of them actually weren't puzzles. And you just followed the steps and got the answer. And so that was okay. I mean, it has its place maybe, but it's not what we usually look for in these games. We were used to doing the exits, which we'll talk about.
It was too simplistic. It was fine. I mean, it was nice, especially because we did it in November, so it was a nice sort of warm up into the season for us. But if you're really going to do just one and you're a big gamer, this would not be the one I would choose.
Yeah.
I would suggest might make a nice gift for a family.
Or if you're doing 5 of them.
If you're doing 5 of them, or if you want to do one with kids. It was this would be a great way actually to introduce kids to this type of puzzle. Yeah,
and it has the key elements, which is that you do a task every day. It takes just like 5 minutes usually, sometimes maybe 10. So it works as an advent calendar. That's very much true.
Yeah. Okay, so that was Clue. Yeah.
All right, next up we have from Deadbolt Mystery Society, we have the Christmas movie calendar, advent calendar game, or whatever you want to call it. Whatever they call it.
And this was from 2022, so I don't think this is necessarily going to be a yearly thing they do, but it is available for next year.
And it's a print and play, so you can easily buy it. It's like $10 or less, and you print it out.
Yeah.
We did is we actually printed out. We did it together, so we printed out 2 copies of the game, so we each had it in front of us and could solve the puzzles in tandem.
Yeah.
So, and it was solid. The puzzles are generally good. There's maybe 1 or 2 that aren't great, but overall they're pretty good. And
they're pretty easy. It's not super tricky, but it's also a print and play. So for that investment, it's
Yeah. And we did the countdown to Halloween in October. This is basically the same thing, but for Christmas. We had the same problem both times. Because you do 25 days of puzzles. And then it narrows it down to 5 movies. And that gives you your code. And the thing is, both times we got one puzzle wrong. But we didn't realize we got it wrong.
Yeah.
Until the end. And so then you're trying to figure out which one did you get wrong. So then you kind of peek at the solutions.
Well, and the other challenge is if you don't know the movies so it'll give you a clue for the movie.
Right.
So it'll be like the one that we got wrong, there's a fight in the corridor. And which is a spoiler, and I probably shouldn't have said, but
it's okay. But if you could, actually a good example though, because if you think about it, a fight in a corridor, that's kind of a common potential scene, we're like, is it Die Hard? Is it this one on the train?
Yeah.
What do they mean? Like, which one do they mean? So
we would sometimes have to actually Google because we hadn't seen the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that can also send you down the wrong path. So there's a couple ways that you can go wrong with that. Right. Nevertheless, I think for the ease of access, the amount of money, and the time investment, it's a solid choice. Because the puzzles were like, 5 minutes most days. Somewhere
tops, yeah.
Somewhere more, but most of them
it might depend on your experience with puzzles like these too. And
yeah.
It's a lot of
letter shifts
and letter coding, numbers to letters and letters to numbers and letters to letters and that kind of stuff. So without giving away spoilers, I think that covers that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right. So I think next on our list is the exit calendar for the year, the intergalactic race. Exit the game advent calendar, the intergalactic race. And this is what, the 4th or 5th one we've done?
It's at least the 5th.
Yeah.
So, and we do this every year. We did 2 last year because the year before we were moving, so we didn't do any. And we just love this one.
Yeah, spoiler, favorite.
It's one of our favorites. It's really good. The puzzles are good. There's always 1 or 2 that don't quite work out. And they're usually ones that involve manipulation of the box. And they just, if you don't do it exactly the way in the order that needs to be done, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, there's always one that we end up having to go to the hints for because we're just not getting it. We're doing it wrong.
And we're pretty good at puzzles.
Yeah, we're pretty good.
So.
But that being said, this is still, I think, my favorite. What happens is you open a door the first day. It's 3-dimensional. It's got doors on it. The first day you open the door and it gives you a puzzle and you solve it. And there's a slider that you'll put in the code and then it'll tell you like up and to the right, up and to the left.
Yeah.
And there'll be a pattern like moon, star, L. And if it matches, you got it right. If it doesn't match, you didn't. So it's really fun. There's that 3-dimensional, there's clues everywhere on the box, in the clue book, everywhere. So you've really got to be thinking outside the box.
Or inside the box.
I will say the one thing that they did this year and they've been moving towards is not putting clues inside the rooms, which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah, and what we mean by that is it used to, you'd both have to like stare in the room and take pictures of the room, and it was hard to do together. And by not putting it so much in the room, it was easier to do together.
And it's hard for old eyes to see that.
Yes.
We would take pictures and then try to blow it up so we could see. And there's very much less of that this year than there has been in the past. And I am very grateful for that. But this still, above all, I think is one of my favorites.
So that was a big improvement, not requiring so much staring inside the room.
Yeah.
Because that was tricksy and just made it a little more difficult to work with.
But I will say the sheer creativity of Inca and Marcus Brand it blows my mind. These puzzles, certainly there's some things that show up from year to year that are the same, but in general, they don't feel samey. They feel new every year. The story's good. It's thematic. They're spectacular.
Yeah, I agree. They're just really creative. So, and really think out of the box or in the box or whatever. You're looking all over for answers and you're like postulating different things. Yeah. And you kind of go off the deep end sometimes with your postulations.
You're trying so hard to make something work. And you're like, I don't think this is it. Maybe we should start over.
I might be overthinking this.
Yeah. It's really good, though.
But it's really good. So, yeah, thumbs up definitely for Exit the Game Advent Calendar. It's definitely one of the better ones on the market. Yep. Now, we did something different this year with Exit because we discovered at the last minute that there's an Exit the Book Advent Calendar. What? This blew our minds.
I didn't even know there was an Exit the Book series, let alone an Advent Calendar.
It blew our minds. And so, like, it worked really. It was so creative use of a book. And it worked very similar to the Advent Calendar box game. You even had the pages were perforated together and you had to unperforate them to see the content inside. So you were like unlocking rooms just like you would on the box. And then they would have these puzzles. Now, sometimes I think they almost told you too many hints on where to find the information. You just had to flip through the book, find the elf with the blah, 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 you know, whatever, and solve.
Yeah. I will say, though, like, we didn't realize that at first. So our first puzzle, we were looking for a long time before we finally started to flip through the book. And we're like, oh, it's on another page. Yep. But it really, there's a whole series of these. So we did actually get another one for Christmas as a Christmas present. So we'll be checking out the series to see if it's as good as this one, because it did not have the perforated pages. So I don't know how it works. But
this is the first one that's like an Advent Calendar game. Yeah. The others are just exit games, which is, you know.
Yeah. I thought this was a tad simpler than the box.
It was a little more straightforward. But I didn't find it super simple. Like, I thought when I ordered it, there was something I saw that suggested the books were more for kids, but it wasn't really at all. I think it'd be too much for a lot of kids. Yeah. And I think it was really fun and interesting, and the story was good and all that stuff. So,
well, and they do, some of the books are specifically for kids, you can tell, but they have books that are not obviously geared at kids. So I definitely think this was not something you would want to do with young kids, just because I think it would be too much for them. The story was good, but
it says 8 and up, and certainly I probably with an 8 or 10-year-old I'd do it with them, and maybe, you know, because it'd be kind of, I think they would get frustrated with some of the harder puzzles. But it was good. It was fun. It was totally fun. We had so much fun, and we really enjoyed it. And it was just like doing another Advent Calendar box almost. Like, it was almost the same experience. So it was really quite, and again, showed the brilliance of Inca and Marcus Brand.
They're so clever.
And just how they come up with different and interesting ideas and ways to do things. So I'm very impressed with everything they do. So
yeah, me too. For sure.
So anyway, that was really fun. I highly recommend Exit the Book Advent Calendar for yours. And again, they're not like, there's no days of the week or anything tied to dates, so you can do that next year. So you can go pick it up now and do it next year if it's on sale or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, next we had a new one, different publisher. I don't think we've done anything by them. I don't know what else
we did something from them, actually. Okay. We did a murder mystery from them. Okay. I think it's Hidden Games. It's Professor Charlie's World Tour. Yeah. And this is an Advent Calendar version of their murder mystery games, kind of. Right. But it's not a murder mystery, actually. It's just puzzles.
It's just a puzzle game, yeah. The story is that you're traveling around the world and you have to find the next destination. And so...
But you're not traveling.
Professor Charlie is. Right. And so you start with... There's envelopes in it, and you solve the clue in the envelope. It won't be straightforward either. It'll give you something like lucky, and you have to go find the envelope that corresponds to lucky. So there were a couple times where we actually solved the riddle and then got the wrong envelope.
Yeah, it was a little stuffy, but the other thing is it comes with a world map, and you follow Professor Charlie's travels around the world. And you do want to do the map. I won't tell you why, but you do want to do the map because at the end there's a reason you do that. Yeah. So absolutely. If you do it yourself, I definitely recommend drawing the path on the map or whatever. Yeah. So
I thought there were some really good puzzles in this.
There were some really good puzzles, and there were some, I think anytime you get a puzzle game like an Advent Calendar where you have 24, 25 puzzles, there's always 1 or 2 duds. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen there not be 1 or 2 duds. So I just think that's the nature of having 24 puzzles. Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, and I feel like actually to even take that and build on a little, there's one or two that are just super easy and not very interesting and exciting. And then there's one or two that just somehow don't work for you. Like you're just, it's not even that you get it wrong. You do it right, but you have to line everything up precisely to see the numbers, and you just don't see them, or you cut slightly off, and so it's not obvious. There's always one or two of those as well.
And there's at least one puzzle in this one, I'll be vague, that has a literary reference that you may not know. So, so that can happen. So that's vague enough, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, so that's Professor Charlie's World Tour. Definitely, I actually thumbs up. That was good.
Yeah, definitely thumbs up.
That was very fun. Very, I don't think it's. If I were to put these on a scale, I'd probably put the exit calendars up top and put that on the next level. But it's definitely up there.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, next we did a Advent Calendar murder mystery game from Murder by Post called Death in a Snowstorm. And this one, first of all, so we're going to say divergent things here. Really good murder mystery game. Not so good Advent calendar.
Yeah.
The Advent Calendar, it was weird because it would you'd open up the clue for the day. And it wasn't clear, like normally when you do an Advent Calendar game, it's kind of clear what puzzle you need to solve. It wasn't clear what puzzle you needed to solve.
And some days there weren't.
There wasn't a puzzle to solve, and that was part of the confusion. Like, there was just dribbles of information, which was useful to solve the murder mystery at the end, but not useful in solving a daily puzzle. There was no daily puzzle to solve.
Yeah.
And I think the good Advent Calendar games have a daily puzzle to solve. And that incrementally leads you to the end. So
that being said, it was a very good game. Like we make sure if we can to do these in a way that we can pass them on. That's not possible with the exit, but with Professor Charlie's we did, and with Death in a Snowstorm we did. But we didn't even put them back in the envelopes.
We just set it up as a
I would do this as a
standoff.
one-off. But there was a puzzle in here with a cipher. You first. There was a puzzle in here with a cipher that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And we're getting to the point where we do enough of these. We're familiar with a lot of the common ciphers, right?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
so I was very excited to see learn like a new type of cipher puzzle.
Yeah, it was cool.
I was super thrilled.
And it was a hard one.
It was a hard one.
It was tricky. It was really, once we even understood how to do it, it was tricky.
It was, I mean, to me, that one puzzle was probably the highlight of all of the Advent calendars.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was one of the best puzzles we did. And it was, but like we said, this wasn't the best Advent Calendar game. So they market it that way, and I get it, that they're trying to market it as an Advent Calendar game. I just don't think it really worked that way that well. I think it'd be better if they worked it into 12, they did it as 12 days. Advent Calendar as 12 daily puzzles with other information in there that helps you in the end.
In the end, yeah, exactly.
But rather than trying to having these days where you had no puzzle to solve and you just had,
well, and the really good ones lead you to the next day.
Yeah.
That you have to get it right to get to the next day.
Yeah.
And so that is, to me, the hallmark of some of the best ones. They don't all do that, but I like that when it does it too, because then you're also not getting to the end and realizing, oops, we messed up somewhere in the middle and we don't know what to do.
Which was the movie calendar game had that issue.
Yep.
So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can check with the movie calendar game. You can check daily your solution because you get a solution sheet that you download. But you have to know to do that. So anyway, that's all. Yeah. So I think the Death in a Snowstorm, really good murder mystery game, but not the best Advent Calendar game. And that's our roundup there. One more that we did. Now we haven't 100% finished this, but we're really far through it. And that is, I forget the full title, but it's a book. You might have heard of the Murdle books, and it's a Merry Murdle. So it was an Advent Calendar ish. They don't exactly call it an Advent Calendar, but it's 25 days of puzzles.
Yeah. This is bordering on more like the puzzle solving than the game.
Yes. Yes.
That being said, I love this one. It's the old like logic grid puzzles,
Yes.
which I used to do in elementary school, and I loved those. And so I'm so excited to get back into this. It's been years since I've done it, so I feel a little rusty on it, but I really am loving this one.
Yeah, and it gives you another choice of having an advent calendar-esque thing that you can do. Now, we started it late, which is why we haven't finished, but like through the advent season, or you can do it any month, really.
Yeah, this one you could also, most of these you could do solo, but this one really is geared towards solo play because it's in a book. What we've done is we've like photocopied the book so that one of us, like, we can both do it at the same time.
If we do another one of these, I think we're going to get 2 copies of the book and do it. We like to do things together.
Yes.
Which, if you haven't picked up on, we play co-op games together. We play Final Girl together. We play Hunted together. We play those games together. And we're doing the same with this. And it's really fun that way.
It is so fun.
And so, one of us sometimes gets ahead of the other and we try to, we're like, you're ahead.
Yeah. Or, like sometimes one of us will make a mistake or get confused, but then we can like look to the other one like, okay, wait a minute. I think I've gotten myself all muddled. Help me out here.
Yeah. So and it gets more challenging as the book progresses, which is neat, and a nice structure, which doesn't always happen with the puzzle advent calendar games. So I think that's nice.
Yeah.
So I think the slowly progressing difficulty up is nice.
Yeah, and this is one I would recommend this or a book like this. I don't know if there's a series or there's just
a whole
one
series
book.
of non-Christmas ones.
Yeah, I would certainly recommend this if you like to sit and do puzzles by yourself, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, something like that.
Right.
This would be great.
Now there is a board game based on these, but I've heard it's not well rated on BGGs, and we haven't played that, so don't assume we even though we use that to log our plays. Shh.
That's all right. We also log our what is it? Our exit
our Deadbolt.
Yeah, as the same thing. So we're really dense. We still haven't figured out this one mystery apparently, even though we've played it like 50 times.
Because we like to log our plays, and right now it seems like a lot of the one-off mysteries Board Game Geek isn't approving. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe they're changing their policies on them or something. But we're still logging plays. We're just using another stand-in to log the play of the other game. It's confusing.
These people are dumb. 30 hours and they still haven't solved it.
So, but we have a lot of fun with advent calendars. We think it adds to the whole Christmas or holiday season. We love that there was one for Halloween with the movie calendar.
We did.
And so I'd love to see more of that for like Halloween or other holidays. So it's just something to think about. And I don't know. I think this was a really fun, and hopefully this video is helpful for you all to identify which calendars you might be most interested in. Feel free to ask us questions. Certainly we are experienced puzzle solvers, so we might love the exit advent calendars or something that's more challenging, but maybe the clue game works well for you.
Right.
I don't. It's hard for us to say.
But I do think we have a good sense of like where it falls on the difficulty level, and depending on what you're looking for, where you should go. Yep.
And we'll be back with more videos of games we've played, and I know one of our goals for 2026, or one of mine, and we haven't fully discussed it, is to redo our top 50 roll and writes.
That's a great goal.
So look for that. So that'll probably be a few months, but we'll get to it, and we'll do other stuff too. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're just restarting again, so we're very excited to talk about board games again with you all. And I don't know, have a happy New Year. And if this is after the New Year watch, Happy New Year. Yeah. Hopefully it's going well so far.
Yes. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Whatever holiday you celebrate. Happy board game night. Yay.
Yay. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Remember, every day that you game is a holiday.
Bye.